You're listening to Kevin and the Spleen.
No one's gonna ever love me.
1098.5 Radio QWX. Real quick.
Bussin', no cap. No cap. Really smack you in the ass with flavor. There you go. This show is about depression, anxiety, PTSD, and chronic illness.
We going quick. We're trying to keep you on the path to the ride home on the evening time.
It's a fucking zoo.
Make it Quicks with the Quicks Radio.
White lives do not matter.
White lives, Kevin. White lives. Kevin. You gotta help me.
Are you okay?
I've been hit by so many cars, Kevin.
Are you running around in traffic, or what? How is that happening still?
It's part of the lore. White lives, Kevin.
I really think we need to devote an entire episode to just your lore.
Okay, well, I'm not going anywhere. Well, let's do it. Okay, what do you want to? Do you want to? How? What
can I
do
interview you?
Okay, yeah, I mean, sure.
All right, so give me your origin story. Like, how did you get started as a radio host? Because you were here when I got here, and the guy before me said you were here when he got here. Like, did they just build the station, like the building around you, or what? How did that happen?
No, I went to college, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. I was in the radio journalism program. I was involved in the student radio. I got my start there, and my show and persona were so acclaimed from right off the bat that I instantly rocketed to the Quicks graveyard slot and made it to the morning zoo, and then I got, what do you call it, what's the opposite of a commendation? A citation, maybe?
Yeah, a citation. Yeah, that sounds good.
And I got a citation, and I was relegated back to the evening times. It's a fucking zoo.
I've heard that.
Right.
So is doing this show like a form of punishment for you?
No. I mean, not having the coveted morning zoo slot, Kevin. That's the punishment. I'm a zoo man. Come on, look at me. I'm the fucking spleen. I don't belong in the late night drive home to the evening times.
I do. I don't think we've ever really dove into how you got the name the Spleen. Is there a story behind that?
Is there a story behind your name?
Well, I mean, my parents gave it to me. Is that how you got yours?
Yes. What do you?
So they called you Little Spleen?
Little Spleen? Did they call you Little Kevin? They call you sure little fucking prick because you're fucking getting on my goddamn nerves.
I feel like there's a lot of hostility between us lately.
Yeah. There's a lot of spleen that needs to be vented, you might say.
Okay.
Wait, I just got that. Holy shit. Oh boy. Dude, I don't think I sound like this. I think I sound different. I think it hurts more when I'm normally talking.
Wait, you don't think you normally sound the way you sound?
Yeah. And this is way off. Come on, you know what it is. It's the spleen, Kevin. This is close to how I sound, right? I think.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody has their like radio voice and then their casual voice, and we're just chatting as friends here.
We're just chatting as friends. Yeah. Okay. This is really stretching the limits of my character work.
Okay. Well, I mean, is there a more comfortable topic we could be discussing? Like, do you want to talk about your oubliette? Do you want to talk about where cars or Girl Scouts or any of our normal discussion points?
Do you think the oubliette could be the natural enemy of the werecar?
Yes, I think if a werecar got trapped in an oubliette, that would be pretty bad.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Are you picturing that right now? What's going on?
We have to get to the Pope. Kevin,
The Pope?
we have to get back to the Pope.
What? Okay, I may have. I'm not keeping up with you here. What does the Pope have to do with your oubliette?
My ex-wife. Kevin.
Your ex-wife is the Pope.
Kevin. There's a penny. Kevin. Oh, Kevin, what are we doing? This whole thing's wrong. What is this? It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday, just the exact Thursday that we released this episode. That's out today. Hummus maxing. Oh, how do you feel about hummus maxing?
I have to admit, since I had the encounter with the hummus guy, I've consumed hummus more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of wondering, maybe he was like a plant from Big Hummus to to drum up interest in hummus.
You have to admit that maybe he's a plant.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
No. What do you mean?
Wait, why am I being the weird one suddenly? No,
because I'm not the spleen. You think you think you can get away with this just because you're not the spleen?
Pretty much, yes.
I'm trying to look up our podcast. Go ahead.
You're going to listen to an episode right now?
I am, yeah. I'm putting on hummus maxing. Look, we got some comments. Whoa, live from a mystery scoffus. I love the show and agree that the white life's part of the intro is a little bit unnecessary if you're wanting new people to continue listening. Even if it is sarcasm. I miss the spleen. So these are the kind of comments that are happening over on the YouTube. That's fun. You know, and this episode just happened really quick. Go over to the Reddit, you know. This is a good episode, Kevin. This is some Michael Jordan flu game shit. Anyway, the episode just came out, hummus maxing. I've been thinking about it a lot, Kevin. I was thinking about maybe that guy is right about the tennis and the hummus. Maybe, you know, like marathoners, how they eat that that Gatorade branded jelly goop that's like nutritional gel. It's in these little pouches. Maybe hummus is like essentially that, where it just has this like unique, like caloric and electrolyte, load and all this. I don't know, the freaking garlic is anti-inflammatory, Kevin, I don't know, like maybe it is just like a bunch of stuff that it just so happens that if you have it in your body while you're exercising, it's like, wow, I'm really popping the hell off. Maybe the guy is just completely right. Have you ever thought about that?
I haven't, but you're making a lot of sense right now.
Have you ever thought of that?
I have not. I swear that thought has never crossed my mind.
Not even years ago, you've never had that thought about this thing that just happened? Oh, boy. Oh, boy, Kevin. The show's good. It's a good show. It's fine. I just went to the doctor. I was supposed to go to the physical therapist this morning, but I fucking slept through the appointment. I was like, oh, I should get it in the morning so I have the whole rest of the day ahead of me. And then they were like, it's pretty early. And I was like, yeah, but I'm always up in the morning. Fucking slept through it. Sucks. Everything sucks, Kevin. But you know what doesn't suck?
Don't say hummus.
I wasn't going to, but now I want to. Is soda, Kevin. That's right. You texted me about this recently. The dirty Mountain Dew. You were saying that you couldn't find it anywhere, but I found it.
I still have not found it. Yeah.
If you ever come back here, I got one in the fridge for you.
Okay.
But
I'll swing by.
Yeah, I think I texted you about this, but I was going into Walmart, which is a place that I shop now because I guess it's better than shopping at Target. I don't know. But I go in and I see just this horrible looking woman. I don't know. This old crone witch looking lady. I don't know. She just looks crazy. I don't know. She doesn't look great. She doesn't look great. And she's outside of the Walmart, and she's like holding up this bottle. Well, this bottle of Mountain Dew. She's like holding it above her head and like squinting at it in the sun, like trying to inspect it as if it was like a rare treasure, or as if she was like some sort of crow, like looking over like a piece of flashy garbage. Like it was like, I was like, what the fuck is this lady doing? And I was like, wait a second. That's dirty Mountain Dew in her hand, in her disgusting, horrible hand. And then I was like, well, look at this crazy lady. She can't have just like, she doesn't have the wherewithal to have brought this from somewhere else, She must have gotten this here at this very Walmart. That's the only reason she has it, to inspect it in this manner, And Kevin, I'm so brilliant. I put all this together within the fraction of a second of seeing this woman. I'm like instantly being like, this Walmart must have this stuff that Kevin was talking about and that I haven't had any chance to get. And so I got it, and I got 2 bottles. Thanks to this horrible looking woman, Kevin. I looked
I don't think I've ever heard you negatively comment on someone's appearance before.
Yeah, well, I'm ageist and misogynist, especially when it comes to ageism. So that's just, bad, I guess, right?
That is something I know about you, yes.
Yeah.
Your deep-seated misogyny. That's
Spencer's deal. That's, that's why we never play the game What Spencer's Deal is, because you're not going to like what you find out. But, yeah. But Spencer's deal is also that, I'm horribly ageist and misogynist. But this lady was looking crazy. I don't know that there's a very normal way to look at like a bottle of soda, like the label of a soda bottle, but she didn't do it. She did not meet my expectations of that.
So was she looking at the label, or was she trying to like see through it?
I don't fucking know. She looked crazy. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this person? This is like a crazy Walmart person. You ever go to Walmart, Kevin?
I don't enjoy it, but yes.
Yeah, you don't enjoy it because there's crazy Walmart people. Like, that's the cost of going to Walmart. Like, Target's not great, but Target does not have crazy Walmart people. They have, the equivalent crazy Target person, which is a good few margins better, I would say. But hey, whatever. You save money on the spices.
Oh, sorry. I do remember going to Walmart once and hearing a guy commenting how that the soup was woke. And that's been living in my head ever since that happened, because I cannot understand. Like, he literally, almost like this woman, picked up a can of soup and was like, soup is woke.
It's woke.
And puts it back down. And it was just a can of Campbell's soup. Like, there was nothing special about it whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, it's because Campbell's is a they now. Campbell's is non-binary. They're a group. There's multiple Campbells.
Do you think that's true of all corporations?
It's a polycule. Yeah, corporations are freaking polygamist. Is that what it is?
I'm sure.
This is great. We gotta stop. We gotta stop fucking around, Kevin. I'm a mess today. This is very much not Michael Jordan flu game of us, Kevin. I gotta drink this fucking Mountain Dew. It'll give me
get some caffeine in you and see how this goes by the end of the show.
I went to the doctor today, and my blood pressure, the machine read out it was super low, which oftentimes is like some sort of error or something, but it was super low, and they were like, "Oh no!" And every okay, let me just try this one.
Okay, Spencer's sipping.
It's definitely down the pipe. Like, it's not some crazy flavor. It tastes like cream, cream soda kind of in a Mountain Dew. It tastes a little bit like creamsicle, like those orange vanilla creamsicles. But it kind of makes you wish it tasted more specifically fruity instead. Like Mountain Dew is fruity, but it's kind of muddled by nature of being like these different drinks, but it has some orange notes to it. But you almost kind of want it to be more orangey or something because it's like, yeah, if this was like a creamsicle Mountain Dew, which it kind of approaches, it would be like really crazy. But just being like a dirty Mountain Dew is like, yeah, but it just makes it taste kind of like a sour cream or something, like a cream soda, but with more citric acid in it, which that's not great. I would rather just have a normal cream soda than like a kind of fruity cream soda, right? I don't know. What was I talking about? I was going to the doctor.
Yeah, low blood pressure.
What a fucking podcast. We love it. Michael Jordan flu game. Every time I go to the fucking doctor, they're like, well, your blood pressure seems good. Why are you on this blood pressure medication? I'm like, I'm not. I haven't taken it in like a year. And they're like, oh, well, we should get you off of that. And I was like, well, I kind of am. I haven't taken it in a year. And they're like, well, we'll run your blood work. We'll have you come back, get your blood tested again, just to make sure your blood pressure taken again, just to make sure everything's good. But you probably can get off it. So I guess, yeah, come back and I'll get you off of it. And I'll be like, yeah, I mean, I don't take it. It's fine. Like, it's not, it's not an issue in my life. And then I proceed to tell the doctor like why I'm actually there. But like every time I go and it's always like, yeah, your blood pressure is low. It doesn't seem like you need to be taking this medicine. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Like, I'm here for a whole different thing, if you could believe that. And they're like, yeah, it's just so like, why were you on it? What did your blood pressure used to be? And it's like, higher. I don't know. It used to be like bad. It was so bad. A doctor put me on blood pressure medication. And they're like, I just don't get it. Like, what? It must have been so high. And I was like, well, I don't know what the numbers are. How high was it? It's like, I don't know, like 120. 120 is not bad. Well, I guess it must have been higher than that. Like,
don't they have records?
They should, yeah, but a different doctor put me on it, yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
They're like, yeah, it's just since you've been coming in 3 years ago, it was even really good. And I was like, yeah, I know. Like, you guys need to understand, I used to be like a big fat guy, and I lost a lot of weight. But the whole time I've been coming here, I've not been a big fat guy. I've been like, I lost all the weight, so like there's a whole life before coming to this doctor. They gotta understand I'm a whole fully realized person with hopes and dreams and everything. And I'm not even taking the fucking blood pressure medication. That's what they don't understand. That's what all their tests and charts will never understand about me, the real living patient, is that I already stopped taking the medicine and told them about it multiple times. It's something their Western medicine's never going to understand. It's something that Eastern medicine and their chakras, they kind of can accept this truth that I'm not taking the medicine anymore. But yeah, I don't know. Kevin, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Why are we? What? I'm having fun. I'm having fun programming the game, Kevin.
How far have you gotten?
Very not far. I don't know, but it's fun because like you do something every time. You either completely break something or you create something new that's completely broken.
Yeah,
it's exciting, but it's cool. I'm right now. The thing I'm currently working on is a loop that will make a bunch of hexagons, and I figured out one of the problems that I was having with the loop is that despite trying to make it a loop, it kept naming the new entities it was creating. It kept naming them one of the same 10 names that were just in like one like layer of the loop. And every time it would rename a new entity after the old one, it would basically just reset the old one instead of making an actual new one. So instead of like having entity 11, for instance, it would just start over and move entity 1 essentially, instead of giving me like 11 through 100 entities. And yeah, I figured out I had to give them all separate names, otherwise that would keep happening. And I had to figure out, okay, how do I get 100 names? And now I'm trying to figure out how to get I got the X layer of the loop figured out, and now I need the Y layer of the loop figured out so I can make the next row of hexes. And, it's great. I figured out that I need to do a if statement for if the row is an even row or an odd, because one of the two, evens or odds, it doesn't matter which, but one of them has to be offset by like half a step for the hexagon to all fit together. So it's great. That's what I'm working on, is that one algorithm. And for a while, I could only print the one hexagon. And then I was like, shit, now I can print 10 hexagons. This is great. And then it was like, shit, now I can't print 100. And now I can print 100 hexagons. And so that's just what I've been working on the past, say, 24 hours. But it's like, yeah, now I can print 100 hexagons. They're just not in the right place, Kevin. But it's fun. I'm printing hexagons. I'm having a great time.
You seem more self-satisfied doing this than I think anything I've ever seen you do before, except maybe Harmon Quest.
Right. Well, Harmon Quest 2 is, it's like, I know how to do D&D. It is tough. I have gotten into some like issues with D&D lately that are like the kind of issues I had in the past. It's just like kind of like a writer's block almost for D&D.
I get that.
I'm drinking the soda. Kevin has to cover me. Yeah, but
is it growing on you the more you're drinking it, or is it one of those the more you drink, the more it's like it's sickly sweet and you can't like the first. Some of these drinks I found like the first sip is great, but I never want to finish it because by the end of it, it's just like this is way too sugary.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I don't think the first sip was like great. It's if I had a different soda, I would be drinking the other soda right now.
Yeah,
but I don't. It's sad when you think about it, but it's you're not missing much, is what I'm trying to say in terms of this dirty Mountain Dew. But back to these hexagons, Kevin.
Hexagons are the bestagons.
Yeah, exactly. They're the Bexta. See, this is the thing. Writing, it sucks. Hexagons, it's hard. It's really hard to come up with that stuff. But you can make a hexagon. It truly is like, yeah, no, like I said, I was getting blocks with D&D. It's really empowering that you don't like programming. It just works or it doesn't. Like you're not trying to get anything out of anybody. Like you're not trying to be all like, oh, do you want to read my program and see if it makes you happy? Is my program funny? And then they're like, oh, I like this, but I didn't like that. It's like, I'm just like, you just do it. And then it either happens or it breaks. And then you go, oh, okay, I got to fix it. It's a lot more mechanical, which is a lot more how I operate. I don't know. I think if anything, that's part of why I'm like good at D&D, is because D&D is like that. It's like a lot of these elements that you have to just stay on top of and like understand, rather than like being like, I'm the master of writing, narratives and stuff. It's just trying to like simulate all these different elements. But I don't even think I'm like a great DM, but I think like the way I am at DM is like that, if that makes sense. I don't know.
It does. And you touched on something too that I think is kind of like important. People have asked me before, why do you like computers so much? Like out of all the careers you could have chosen, why did you pick one that is like 98% in front of a screen and not talking to another person? And I think a big part of it for me is that it's really simple in that, like, if the computer's not doing the correct thing, it's not because it's having a bad day. It's not because it doesn't like me. It's not because it's got a competing idea that it feels threatened by what I'm doing. It's, if it's not doing what I wanted, it was my mistake almost always.
Yeah.
And I find that so much less stressful than dealing with the complexities of people, because there's so much subtext and there's so many different layers of, you're not necessarily even arguing about the problem that you're trying to solve. You're trying to figure out what's going unsaid and things like that. So
Right.
there's a certain level of purity, I guess, in dealing with programming and things like that, where it's on me if it's not working usually.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Although I was trying to learn Python specifically, and so I downloaded what's it called? Visual
Hmm.
Studio Code. And that was like I was watching these lectures on YouTube, and that's what they were alleging to use, but it must have been a different version or something. I don't know. But the version I got is like all mucked up with AI shit. And the it was not behaving consistently for reasons I don't really understand. Like I would run a Scrabble code and it would not work and it would not work and it would not work and it would be like copied directly from like the lecturer and they were getting it to work. And I would straight up close the compiler and reopen it, the same code, not changed in any way. And then I'd run it and then it would work. And it's like, but I didn't change anything. Like all I did was reset the fucking compiler. And the errors it was giving are weird errors, not even relating to anything that like what you might expect to be going wrong. Because this is basic fucking shit. This is like maybe 3 or 4 lines of code level programming stuff in Python, not like really hard to suss out like what's going on, and also really easy to read, making sure you didn't like type anything wrong, like typos and stuff. But I just fucking reset it and it would work. And it's like, how the fuck does this compiler just not produce consistent results? And I was like, it must have somehow something to do with AI. Who knows? But the Godot doesn't do that, but the Visual Studio Code. But yeah, no, I agree that it's simple, that where it just like works or doesn't, and there's just something that you could do. It's all consistent, it's based on rules. I don't know, like this isn't like learning or anything, but something I've just known from seeing stuff online all the time is that square root is often denoted as SQRT. Um, you know, and I was trying to do like math and I was like, how do you do like the square root of 2? And I was like, I bet if you just type SQRT parentheses and then put 2 parentheses, I bet like that is just what you would do. And then I did it and it worked and I was like, hell yeah, this is great. It's like, I don't know. It's starting to make sense. And I was working on, what was I working on? I was working on this cursor on that like extends out of the character so you can like kind of select things, I guess. And the cursor extends out of the character and it wasn't going in the right space because the character like pivots around a main center point or something. And I was stuck on like how to make the cursor move the way you would want it despite the unit, like the character like spinning or turning or whatever. And I was just like, I was stuck on that for like a week or something. And I was like walking in the morning and I was like, okay, well, wait, if it's going this way, but you need it to go that way, then that means you just need to take this variable and subtract that. And I was like, wait, I figured it out. And then like when I got home, I like plugged it in and like worked. And I was like, yeah, I like comprehended a programming concept and like successfully applied it. And it's like, I think last week when we were talking about what was cool about it, I was like imagining being a person that like knew how to solve a problem. And I was like, this is me becoming a person that knows how to solve a problem in programming. And I was like, this fucking rocks. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know that this is boring to talk about. Maybe we should get rid of this whole episode. What do you think? What do you say, Kevin? You want to just walk out of here right now?
Sure.
Never to be seen from again.
I mean, we should release this episode just stopped right here.
That could be interesting. Yeah. I shouldn't even tell you this, Kevin, But we're recording this episode on Thursday again instead of Sunday, because I'm supposed to be recording something on Sunday. But I just found out that I think they should probably be done by like 3 or 4. So if they don't go super late, I should be able to do the show on Sunday anyway, which means we don't have to do this record. But we are. We're recording early. What's going to happen? What's going to happen this Sunday when this episode goes out? What crazy stock market manipulation do you think has been happening?
Man, I honestly don't know. Like, if you made me predict Iran is going to release another Lego video about the U.S., the Strait of Hormuz is going to be opened and closed at least once again.
At least once.
Random threats will be made, possibly even to a different country other than Iran. Beyond that, it's anybody's guess. I don't know.
Yeah. We haven't talked about that stuff too much lately. Not been too newsy lately. A lot of stuff's been happening.
It's been the same thing happening every week. And by the time we're recording it, it's already outdated. So it's hard to discuss stuff like this that's this topical, especially if we're pre-taping, which is my fault. Exactly. I'm admitting.
No, this one's my fault. I had to we just talked about it.
Yeah, no, I meant the previous episodes.
Okay.
Because I've been traveling.
Yeah, you know how mad the listeners have been about that. They can't stand it.
They want more outdated topical news references in our show.
Yeah. But I mean, it's been crazy. Everything's bad. No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine, Kevin. Nothing bad's happening. All those scientists are dying. Remember?
I read that. Yeah.
There's that one that was talking. I don't know. I don't fucking know any of this shit. But there's this one guy that died who just really recently released like a video saying like, I'm not suicidal. If I die, it wasn't suicide. And then he died by suicide. There's allegedly witnesses who saw him with a weapon and he shot himself or something like that, which is weird. This one, I don't know. I think he was like a UFO researcher, but like, I don't think a lot of these scientists that have been getting murdered or whatever have been UFO researchers. That's kind of like, I don't know. That's kind of like if it's like, oh, a bunch of professional wrestlers are being murdered. Like, I hope they don't murder Old Scrumpus. And it's like, who's Old Scrumpus? And it's like, Old Scrumpus is the baddest dude there ever was. And they're like, what are you talking about? He's like a wrestler. And he's like, he's the worst fighter. He's the worst fighter you'll ever meet. He's terrible and dangerous and super strong. And it's like, he's a wrestler? He's like, no, he's just like this dangerous hobo that lives in the alley. And it's like, well, I don't know that he definitely is going to be like, I don't know that the wrestler serial killer is looking for this guy. Sure. Like, you don't want to fight him or whatever, but it's like, it's not really the same thing. Like, he's just like a crazy hobo. Like, be like, oh, 10 people died and also this crazy hobo killed himself or something, I don't know. Maybe it is. And, I certainly believe these shadowy forces are powerful enough to, drive someone to suicide or whatever too, I guess, be like, we're gonna get your family or something, I don't know. Who knows? There's all sorts of stuff. But stuff like that is also just crazy. I don't know. There's that guy. This is so old in terms of LA lore. But there was this guy that, like, he said that the government was after him. And then, like, he crashed his car into, like, a tree in, like, Highland Avenue or something in LA. It was in this big prominent spot and it turned into this giant like fireball, and the palm tree was like burnt for years, and you could just see this like ugly scar in like the center divider where his car crashed. And like it became this like conspiracy that the government like put a virus in his car and it made it like speed up or something. But like his family was being like, no, like he's been investigating this stuff, but it seemed like in the past couple of days, he like actually legitimately just had a psychotic break also. And it's like, well, it definitely can happen. You know, it's like, that's possible. You can just legitimately go crazy also while a conspiracy is happening, like a hypothetical person could uncover a government conspiracy and then schizophrenia could take hold. That would be a fucking mess to uncover. There's a movie, Kevin. A guy uncovers a conspiracy and also gets diagnosed with schizophrenia, and it's like, holy shit, it's a conspiracy to tell me that it's schizophrenia to stop it. And it's like, holy shit, it's not actually a conspiracy. There actually is schizophrenia. But does that mean the whole thing's fake? And it's like, holy shit, I have schizophrenia, and also a lot of this stuff is real, but also some of it's fucking fake too. Holy shit, how am I supposed to fucking untangle this mess? Because it seems like big shit's going down, and I'm the only one who can stop it. And I'm fucking schizophrenic, and I have like a mop or something, maybe he has a mop. I don't know. I'm trying, Kevin. You're just looking at me like
sorry, the mop just threw me for a second.
The mop's a great addition. A schizophrenic guy with a mop that has to like save the world,
There's this whole B story about Mopsy, his childhood friend that he's had for 15 years or something. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
So Mopsy is a mop.
Yes.
Does Mopsy have a rich inner life, or is it just a construct of this character's imagination or disease, mayhap?
I think it's sort of like Family Guy, where they never really make it clear if they can understand what Stewie's saying. You see Mopsy being a fully realized sentient being, but it's never really fully explained if this is his schizophrenia or if it actually is a real Mopsy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think we should pitch it, right? Well, why not?
I think we got a movie right there.
See, isn't it easier to just try and make a video game and be like, oh, look, I made the item go into the inventory. Can you imagine once I figure out inventories, it'll be fucking insane, Kevin.
Can you in your game put an item called Mopsy in there just for this?
You'll have to remind me. Have someone remind me. But I'll do it. Yeah, I'll put Mopsy in there.
Okay, we're gonna make the show title Mopsy so that you don't forget this. Okay.
Put reminder. The show title can be reminder. Put Mopsy in game. What a great show title that'll be. What a great episode. Okay, so algorithms are a bummer, and they're a bummer because like I think hypothetically an algorithm could be good, but what they do is they be like, oh, we think you're pregnant, so we're going to tell the government that, you might try and have an illegal abortion or something. It's not like we think you're pregnant, so we're going to find a secret doctor you could talk to about, what's going on. And if you want to get like an obscure test that no one will find out about, I don't know, that could be useful. When my algorithm knows when I'm really depressed or I'm really sad or something, mm-hmm. And, so it sends me a bunch of really depressed people crying about how depressed they are and how terrible their lives are. And it's like, that's not what you should send someone who's sad. You should send them like kittens or something, like, I don't, when I'm bummed out, I don't want to see a bunch of people being like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Everything's bad online and oh no, it's like, everyone's sad and it's bumming me out. And I'm sad enough on my own, but I'm trying. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, Kevin. We're trying to figure it out. I don't know. I'm looking at my notes. I don't really have anything. This just says look at tweets. I don't want to look at my tweets. Should we look at my tweets, Kevin?
Sure. All right. So while you're looking at that, I had this weird interaction, and there were people with me. This wasn't me hallucinating that this happened. So I'm at this convention in Vegas right now, and they've got, it's sort of like at a stadium where they have all these like stalls that are all like obviously owned by the same company. Like you can get in line to buy a hot dog, or you can get in line to buy nachos or pizza or whatever. But like, it's all like one sort of like shared kitchen behind there, So I just picked the one with the shortest line and just said, I'd like a Coke, please. And I pointed at the like refrigerator cabinet that had the drinks in it. And the guy says, sure. And then walks off to like 3 booths down. And I'm thinking, okay, well, there must have been an order before me or something that he's doing, and he'll get to it. Even though he was literally standing right next to the Coke that I wanted, fine, you know?
Right.
And he's over there making this drink and then comes back and puts in front of me this, it was like kind of a green slushie with whipped cream and a cherry on top, but it was like fluorescent green, and he puts it in front of me and goes, there you go. And I said, oh, I wanted a Coke, thinking he misheard me. And he's like, yeah, you're welcome. So I was just like so awkwarded out that I just took the drink and walked off because I wasn't sure if he was like misheard me 3 times in a row, or if he thought he was doing me a favor by giving me a more expensive drink, but I couldn't even see whatever this was on the menu. So I don't know.
You didn't ask him what it was.
Well, it was just one of those things where it's just like, you know, several baffling things back to back happened so much that it just left me like, okay, I'll take my. And it was disgusting.
That's no good. It was disgusting.
It tasted kind of like cantaloupe, but with a tremendous amount of whipped cream on top of it.
Okay. Yeah.
In like slushy format.
Okay. Sounds vaguely familiar somehow, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you fucked up, Kevin. You fucked up again.
I did.
This is classic Kevin, always fucking up. No, that's pretty wild. Why am I blurry? Okay, I stopped being blurry. Check out me being sporadically blurry on YouTube. That happens. That happens on YouTube. Check out our excellent new podcast description as well. What were we talking about? Oh, I realized that we should be talking to you more. So what else is going on?
I'm in Vegas again.
Again?
Yes. I left Vegas and came right back. I
you
missed
left
it so much.
Vegas and you came back?
Yes. So I'm back in Vegas for a convention this time. So I've been doing that the last few days. I walked 16 miles according to my watch one day.
Wow. Yeah, cons get you walking, man. When Comic-Con days, I would walk 12 miles or something. 16's impressive.
Well, I've walked from my hotel to the convention and back each time, because I know you've never been to Vegas, but like you can look out your window and see something and be like, well, that's not that far.
But that's outside.
That. But it's actually like 2 miles away.
Oh, okay, because it's flat.
You know. Yeah, well, right. And all these buildings are enormous. Like everything's at a crazy scale. It's like, you know, imagine you're like a foot tall in normal city life, and you know you look out the window. Well, that's really close, but no, you're a foot tall, so it's going to take you 35 minutes to walk there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Vegas is I don't know. Vegas is just like this alternate reality where nothing works the way you expect it to.
I expect it to not work.
Yes.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die, etc. Remember?
Yes.
I was reading this article about AI. I just pulled it up, but I don't know if I could really talk about it. It's like it's pretty long, but it's about how one of the discussions that happens about AI is is it a value neutral kind of technology? Is it like wrong because the bad people are using it, or is it inherently wrong or whatever? And it was just talking about that sort of stuff. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's called AI as a Fascist Artifact. And you can Google it. If you go to, I don't know how to pronounce this name. It's like a Dutch name or something. It's like Tante, TANTE.cc. But yeah, it talks about how, like, you know, there's there's a bunch of forms of violence that like AI kind of depends on to function. Like hypothetically, you could like do AI without doing this stuff, but like all the systems that exist now like do use this stuff on some like utilize these levels of violence on some level. And then just in terms of like there's this it's like this principle that the purpose of a system is what it does, and they're talking about like how AI functions. It inherently like reinforces fascist systems of like appealing to the power of like centralized structures of authority, because like AI functionally needs these large amassed like databases and stuff to like really function. So, you kind of the same way like they're talking about how like an atom bomb kind of has inherent politics to it, because if you have an atom bomb, you now need to keep it out of the wrong hands. Whereas before, if you don't have an atom bomb, that's not a concern you need to have. But so, you just imagine like now you have this politics that necessitates like an armed guard. Just picture the bomb with like a guy with a rifle standing in front of the bomb. It's like those are inherent politics brought about by the existence of the bomb. They're just necessary, because otherwise someone else will get the bomb, and that you can't have that. Then it's worse than the bomb not existing in the first place, right? So it talks about how like the requirements of the system of AI kind of create these issues. They kind of like work against the bonds of solidarity, as it was talking about. What else? Oh, one of the big things is like it mostly replaces the idea of like shared institutional knowledge that can be verified and validated publicly, which is like the whole basis of the scientific community, in general, is like replicability of studies and stuff. And how like that is replaced by this black box machine that you just have to trust. And so it's like fundamentally replacing like all of the scientific endeavors, attempts to create trustworthy systems and structures that we can use to validate claims and create like a consensus of a body of knowledge. Um, it's trying to replace that with a biased machine that's biased on its data set being like a racist, problematic data set, and is being controlled by fascists who are saying like, trust the machine, trust the government. The government is saying like, oh, the AI said your application was denied for, getting money from the government or whatever. It's like, this is like a racist machine that's being deployed to like replace like some sort of clear, understandable system of bureaucracy that's supposed to be navigatable by people, and that it also just empowers these centralized structures. Jesus Christ. I've just been talking for like a year, I think, but I don't know. It's like a really interesting article. I would recommend you read it. Yeah, I don't have any real like specific quotes I can look at right now, but what, Kevin? What are we doing here? What how can this happen?
I don't know.
How
I
could
really
that
don't
happen?
know. Yeah. Well, it does. And only here.
Mm-hmm. With or without
somebody
Spleen.
recently like showed me that I forget, I don't know if it was ChatGPT or Claude, but one of those like a lot of, if I write code for something that is not especially tied to like one of my businesses or projects or something, like if it could be useful to anybody outside of our organization, I just open source it with the most liberal, like you do whatever you want with it. You don't have to credit me. You can sell it. You can do whatever you want, because I feel like, one of the few things that you can do as part of humanity is to like give things back to the world. So I do stuff like that. And then somebody showed me that I think it was ChatGPT, that if you ask it a very specific programming question, it literally regurgitates the code I wrote, like byte for byte. And they were like, aren't you mad about that? And I can understand why some people would be, but I already said this was valueless to me. I already told the whole world you could have this. And there's the part of me that feels like, yeah, they shouldn't do things like that because they're doing this also to people who do want credit or don't want AI to have it and things like that. And that I do think crosses a line. But there's also the part of me that feels like, well, there's this thing that I did that is now effectively immortal, because the whole internet is so contaminated by AI generated content that any new AI that will be created from this point forward is going to be largely trained on other AI generated stuff now.
Sure.
It's completely impossible for you to create a general AI today that is not on the shoulders of existing AI because there's no way to separate training data out from current AI generated stuff or not. So it's almost sort of like humanity's DNA is getting stuffed into these things. And there's a little microscopic piece of it that is something that I made that is probably going to be until the end of humanity now stuffed inside these things.
Mm-hmm.
So part of that is gratifying, but part of that's slightly terrifying. And I don't really know how I feel about it. Like to flip this around onto you,
Oh no.
Well, okay, Harmontown,
My
Quest.
own petard.
Yes, we're going to hoist it.
Don't hoist me on it.
Those are going to be forever. Because 50 years ago, there was a very good chance if you made a TV show, if nobody was, super obsessed with it, there's a good chance it's gone now. Somebody, the network has reused those tapes 50 times over before throwing them away, and there's just not a copy of it anymore. Today, there is no way that all of the episodes of Harmontown and Harmon Quest that you spent a lot of time on are ever going away. I know Harmontown is in the Library of Congress now. It short of an apocalypse destroying the planet, that stuff is forever. How do you feel about that?
It's all I don't really mind it, I guess. It depends on the stuff. Like I do feel like I think archival is really important, but I also think there's this, and maybe this is just me being contrary or whatever, but I have this other part of me that's like I feel like people feel entitled to records and copies of things because it's like and their logic is basically yeah, but like it should be available to everybody, it should be accessible to everybody, and it's like, well, I mean, I think we should generally have like abundance or something, but I don't think like wanting something inherently means that you should then get like unfettered access to it, like I don't know, like I've pirated video games and stuff and whatever, and it's all fine to like pirate and stuff. I don't really mind that much, but at the end of the day, I think piracy is wrong, and I think part of the reason why it's wrong is because of this idea is like, well, just because you want to download it, that doesn't mean it's okay to download it. Like someone else made that and it's theirs and they have control over it. And someone took that from them and copied it and they put it up available online somewhere without their permission, and so that's how you can access it. But that's not something that the person who made it like gave you permission to do. So I do think it's important to like archive video game ROMs and stuff for like history and stuff. But at the same time, like I also think like I don't know that necessarily entitles everyone to like copy it and stuff, and I think it kind of gets into the same kind of thing where it's like, well, shouldn't we keep stuff for history? And it's like, yeah, but also like, I don't know that it's like a right. It's like some stuff just goes on and some stuff doesn't. It's kind of random, sometimes like a thing will corrupt and then something that was forever on the internet that happened to just be in one spot, that's gone forever, and you don't know what isn't backed up or whatever, So I don't really care that like my stuff is around basically forever, but that's mostly just because it's like, well, what are you going to do? It's like getting spam almost. It's just part of being online.
Yeah, but I mean, is there any part of you that like, if I go to ChatGPT and say who's Spencer Crittenden, it's going to tell me. Does that bother you in any way? And does it bother you in a way more than Wikipedia doing the same thing?
No, but it does. Like, I think I don't mind that as like an externality. I don't mind being like a social known quantity, but I do think like that some of the stuff in this article like is like a problem that's related to it. Um, just by nature of like, I don't know, like imagine like another podcaster who like the AI doesn't know who it is or something, like just the selection bias of me over other creators is like something that's maybe not very fair. But I don't care that like I show up in the AI, but like maybe there's someone who's more famous than me that won't show up because of some unfair bias that's put into the training data or something. And so,
Sure.
yeah, that's not something that I think is bad or that I would be like, oh no, I'm being screwed over here. But it is like a net negative on the world. But yeah, I don't mind being part of the machine. I don't know. Like, I do think that, I don't know. I think this stuff's gonna be more on the back of stopping fascists than it is gonna be on the back of like boycotting AI. But I think AI, but I do think the it's bad. I think the not knowing things is bad. Like the idea that we have to just trust the output of something, like I think that's like a very, very bad thing. Um it Especially since it's like the Elon Musk. It's like trust what Elon Musk says and Google doesn't show you different results. It's only like what Elon Musk wants. And what he wants is like to be a Nazi. And so his grok is giving you Nazi Google results. And there's no way to verify what it's saying. Like that seems like a really bad thing. And I do think there is a reality where someone could make a technology that doesn't have that issue is like, more verifiable. But that's the whole thing is they always made it like this because they wanted it to not be verifiable because they wanted to steal stuff with it. That was a big part of the whole point. So if you made it so you could like, oh, here's where the plagiarism is happening, then the whole technology doesn't do what it's supposed to do, but I don't know. It's all yeah, it's like I said, we have to actually just destroy all these people. We gotta burn all the warehouses down, Kevin. You see all these warehouses getting burned down?
I do, yeah.
You're next, Kevin. We're burning you down.
Okay. I probably deserve it, yeah.
I'm burning your Las Vegas down, Kevin.
Okay.
We're gonna burn the Sphere down, Kevin.
Specifically, or just is that just part of burning down Vegas?
Specifically, no. That's
Okay.
While Mr. Beast is up on the screen, they're gonna burn him down.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I'm entirely opposed to that of less Mr. Beast.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have less of Mr. Beast. I just saw something saying like his mom is like a U.S. military prison warden or something. I think I saw that while we were doing the podcast. I don't know. I must have been looking at something I shouldn't have, but I found it anyway. Okay, we got to catch up on emails. We're almost caught up on emails. You got anything else?
Please, if you, go ahead. If whoever's listening sent me that Taco Bell sign, please let me know why.
Yeah, what episode was that? That was like maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago. We showed the Taco Bell sign. Someone got us like a neon style Taco Bell sign, and they didn't put a return address or their name, so we don't know who sent it to us. I'm still suspicious it's a bomb, but it hasn't blown up yet. But yeah, let us know. Send us an email, thathappenspod@gmail.com, if you sent us that. And we'll know if you're lying. If you say you sent it to us and you didn't, we'll know. There is a way.
Yes.
There's a way, Kevin. Michael Jordan flu game. The Brown Dandy writes, is that okay? Is that okay to say? Hello, Spencer and Kevin, and possibly the ghost of Jeff. First off, I've listened from the beginning. Then you got kind of dark for a while, and I had to take a break. I came back a few months ago when you were wrapping up Evangelion and fell in love again. What I really want to say is I love everything about the Spleen intro. I honestly don't care if you ever do the Spleen character again as long as you keep that intro. I love that intro so much that it has made me hate the other. My body fills with rage when the other intro starts, as it is denying me my precious Spleen intro. Off the subject of my unnecessary rage, you always say you're needing guests. If you need someone to discuss Magic the Gathering, board games, politics, or general bullshit, I'm available. Love, the Brown Dandy. Well, thank you, the Brown Dandy. We also got a couple other emails from people talking about being seen. We probably ought to do that at some point. I guess maybe we should circle back and then put something on the calendar. I guess that makes the most sense.
That would, yeah.
And then you guys can experience what it's like when Kevin the fucking... Yeah, you get it. You get the idea. Kevin's bad, folks. No. Kevin, I'm sorry. I feel like the bit is harder on you than I mean it to be. I hope you understand that.
No, I think it's funnier the harder you take that, because if you only do it mildly, it almost sounds sincere.
That's the thing, is sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be too mean, but it's like, well, really it makes it sound more like real and more like I'm not like going over the top, but yeah, anyway. Okay, Ben wrote us an email that we recently read. He was the guy, I'm pretty sure, Benji was the guy that said smoke bath salt and have a good foot. Let's see. But this is a different email. He sent me a different email and then responded to it. Okay. Hey, Spencer and Kevin, I am once again writing from the past. Not sure if you've read my other email yet. We have, in fact, Ben. In terms of real world time, it is now February 2026, but in That Happens world, I am currently in September 2025. Wait, did we do this one? No. Actually, I'm listening to the September 11th episode, and I'm flabbergasted that you haven't done some sort of memorial prayer segment yet. We didn't do anything on the September 11th episode, Kevin. We got to go back. Kevin. We got to go back to the September 11th episode. That's episode 250. Is we got to go back. We'll do a Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, but on September 11th. But the September 11th,
that was a Thursday. What did we tape on Thursday?
I don't know. Benji, let us know what the fuck you're talking about. We gotta go back to the September 11th episode because something terrible happens on that day, which is that we don't properly honor. Well, yeah, the day of the episode of the day, yeah. That we didn't properly honor September 11th on that episode. So we have to go back and stop this terrible tragedy before it can happen, Kevin. Anyway. Okay. So I should be caught up in current very soon, but while listening today, I had the random inspiration to take a stab at guessing what Spencer's deal is, mostly because I think it might closely align with what my deal is. Spencer, is your deal that you don't really care what other people think? Wait, I feel like we've done this one before, haven't we? But simultaneously, you also truly don't like yourself? As such, you're basically both incredibly healthy because you don't care about others' opinions of you, but also incredibly unhealthy because your own opinion of yourself is terrible. For example, if you made a TV show or got a haircut, etc., and thought it was great, but someone else told you it was bad, you wouldn't care or be affected at all. And conversely, and much more commonly, if you did something that you thought was bad, but people told you it was great, you'd be like, shut up, stop gaslighting me. I basically expressed this sentiment to a therapist once, and it kind of stumped them. They pretty much agreed with me about this conundrum, which as a head case is definitely not what you want your therapist to do. I mean, obviously they told me that I am great and I shouldn't think poorly of myself, but naturally in my head, I was like, shut up, you're wrong. That's all. Smoke bath salt and have a good foot. Okay, sorry for the double email. I was rethinking what I wrote because that's what I do. I overthink everything, and I want to make a slight adjustment. It's not that I truly hate myself. That's more so an overcorrection for others trying to tell me I'm so great. Like if people ever try to tell me I'm very cute, handsome, or so charming, funny, it's like, no, I know that's objectively not true. It's at the point where I'd prefer someone to simply say, you're not that ugly, or you're not as annoying as you think. To those remarks, I'd be like, wow, thank you so much, lol. Sorry, thanks for continuing to do that podcast. You and Kevin are not that terrible, haha. What do you think about Benji, Kevin?
I mean, I hope he doesn't think we're terrible, but I also hope he doesn't think he's terrible.
Wow. I think we're all doing good. I think we're all doing great, you guys. But I think this is similar. This is like close. This guy, I resonate with something like that. But yeah, it's but I also, I don't know. I do care when people tell me certain negative stuff. It's hard. It's hard to say what's going to trip my sensitivity and what's not going to. I think it all ties into the adult children of emotionally immature parents stuff. I think a lot of times when you have like that reaction, it has something to do with a healing fantasy of some sort, which is like probably has to do with being vulnerable, like being vulnerable to like a positive compliment somebody says is like an unsafe situation for you for some reason. Why is it unsafe for you? Because when it happened when your parents were around and it happened to theirs, like that was something that preceded some sort of terrible thing, or it happened around unsafe behavior. That's something that I would expect. Is like I'm sure there's something in my family that was like that. Like I don't know. The thing that's coming to mind for me is like I had a crush on someone when I was a kid, and my parents like they were super interested in it in an earnest way, but it made me feel like a fucking loser. They were like it kind of made me feel like I was like a bug in a terrarium. They were just staring at and poking at to be like talking about this crush I had, if that makes sense. So like it was positive attention ostensibly and being like, oh, this is so good. All these positive words are being thrown around, but it felt like a very not good place. So like that seems like in the ballpark. I don't know if that's necessarily the thing or the kind of thing that spawned it, or if Benji has a similar situation, but I would assume it's something like that, where there was a time where your caregivers, they were giving you some sort of positive attention in a way that was coupled with danger, in a way that your body didn't allow you to just take it in as like some normal thing. It made you put up your defense mechanisms for some reason. And similarly, when you thought that you were going to get some sort of praise or reward, there was some further disappointment where like it never showed up. So you never go like, oh yeah, this is what normal validation feels like. It's like, oh, this validation is like poison somehow. So I don't know. That's just my knee-jerk kind of guess of why that happens to people. But I'd say that kind of, yeah. I don't like it when people compliment me. How do you feel when people compliment you, Kevin?
I generally don't feel that it's sincere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I know I've said this before, but I think the only time I really feel that feedback is sincere is when it's negative.
Yeah.
Because why would you make that up? You know?
Yeah, I feel like people say it because they feel the need to make me feel better about myself. It's not because that's like an authentic feeling that they're having and wanting to share.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have trouble accepting positive feedback or compliments or whatever at face value, just because I've been trained to feel that it either comes with a string attached or there's an ulterior motive or something, and generally negative feedback is a lot more sincere.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And it's like the negative feedback validates the flaws that I'm already witnessing in the stuff, which is like, to me, it's like saying something's flawed isn't like the end of the world, although maybe there's a more positive way to look at these things. But like when I'm saying something's flawed, I'm not saying like this is broken, get it out of my sight, throw it away. It's bad. It's bad that it was done. It's bad that you did this. You know, it's just like, no, let's just talk about these flaws because they're probably something that can be fixed or addressed or improved, you know? And so like sometimes I'll be saying it's flawed and the people will say like, well, it's not that bad. And I'm like, well, I'm not saying it's not that bad. I'm saying it's flawed. And I want to talk about those flaws because they're of interest to me in whatever context I'm bringing them up in. You know, it's not about like, oh, I need to massage my ego by like, believing that I'm so good I don't make mistakes. Like, it's not about that. It's like I want to understand why this outcome happened and how to change it, you know. I don't know. Whatever. Fucking whatever, man. I don't fucking know. People, I got a couple emails about game design stuff, which is exciting. I should probably talk to them. I should probably respond directly to the email, but maybe we should get someone on to talk about Godot. I don't know. I was thinking I should go stream on Twitch, just stream me fucking bashing my head against the wall at the Godot, you know, program window. That could be interesting to watch, maybe, or really uninteresting to watch. You know, you never know. But yeah, hopefully next week, Kevin, I'm gonna have hundreds of fucking hexagons all in the right place. Can you imagine?
It's gonna be like a beehive.
It will be. It'll be a lot like that. Maybe we can make a bee game. And then eventually, Kevin, we can make Chogo Bears Congress.
That's
Folks,
the dream, man. That's
the dream.
That is the dream.
And then we can go back and fix the September 11th episode. I'm trying to think. That's like a good idea. This is such a crazy episode. This is a fucking Michael Jordan flu game. But not the good kind. But we got to come up with like a way where we can go back. You probably tell me this isn't possible, but we got to go and edit the September 11th episode so that we like cut us going back in time into it. You know, does that make sense?
We can do that. Yes.
But will that make it show up as a new episode in the feed?
No. If
Okay.
if I edit an existing episode, it won't do that. No.
Okay, good. Okay, well, don't listen to the September 11th episode because you know you'll be surprised. It'll be whatever. This
is a weird like temporal paradox because we haven't done it yet,
and probably
we might
won't.
Be lazy and never
let's be honest. Yeah, we probably won't do it.
But we might have.
Yeah,
but we haven't done it yet. So this is really hard to talk about.
Yeah. So, but I guess if you're really interested, go to the September 11th episode and go to the episode description and look for just a very specific little symbol. We're not going to put it in, but we
leave
could.
A comment on that episode.
Yeah, leave a comment
about
on
what
that
you
episode.
think we're going to say to edit into it.
Yeah, or comment. This is really complicated. It's especially really complicated to farm out to the audience, but come up with something that's like a comment on the episode that like didn't happen in the episode, but when we change the episode and go back, it'll like have new meaning that we can play with by like when we go to record it, we'll look at the comments and be like, this guy said, you know, I don't even want to give a specific because then they'll just say our specific and that won't be as funny as them coming up with it themselves. But you know, if they say like X is this way or something, you know, we could be like, what? That's so crazy. Everybody knows that X is the opposite way, you know, something like that, you know, where it's like, we got to get out of here. This is the most crazy episode we've ever done, Kevin. I got to stop smoking. That's what we discovered. I just got to stop. Dirty Mountain Dew, bad. Everything bad. Scientists killed themselves. Or scientists are being killed, but that guy maybe just killed himself in an unrelated way. Probably. I hope so. I hope that guy isn't just a crazy UFO guy that somehow is actually onto something and had to be stopped. Like these other legitimate scientists that are actually trying to improve the world in more tangible ways. All right, Kevin. Our time is up. The end is nigh. You got any final thoughts?
To steal from real life sci-fi just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
But maybe they are. Or maybe you are just paranoid. You know, it's hard to say. I know people that are paranoid and no one's after them. And no one's after you. Looking directly into the camera. Yeah, but yeah, you know, support us, patreon.com/thesixler. Send us an email, thathappenspod@gmail.com. Send us an email if you gave us a Taco Bell sign. Send us an email if you want to talk game related stuff. I'm having fun with it. Let us
send
know.
us an email if you did not send the Taco Bell sign so we can start ruling people out.
Right. So we can edit the spreadsheet. Send us an email if you need advice or you want me to have weird sort of pseudo therapeutic ramblings that are probably irresponsible and harmful. What else? I really think that's it for now. Let me know. Let me know, you guys. Goodbye. I'm just going to close this. Instead of waiting for Kevin to end the episode, I just leave the Zoom.